What's the biggest lie you have been told? My ex-wife normally wouldn't lie about regular stuff, but she would lie about things in order to save face or not appear guilty. That being said, at the end of our marriage, every time I would ask questions in order to figure out what was wrong, she would make stuff up. If you look those things individually, they look like true. But if you compare them with one another and with her general behavior, it didn't make any sense. It was just one huge pile of lies built one on top of the other. Hiding your vulnerabilities from your partner is generally a recipe for disaster. I was at a wedding and happened to be wearing a white shirt in the elevator. This beautiful Asian girl said to me, "So, you're a doctor?" I said yes and played along. For the entire 3-day wedding party, she stayed in my room for endless sex. It was amazing. On the last day, I was getting ready to go for a paint job. I made minimum wage at the time. Lol. So I had some old raggedy clothes with paint stains on. The BTCH comes out of the bathroom and starts yelling at me, "You're no doctor," and then she stormed out who my dad was. My mom is the devil. Even gave me my fake dad's last and middle name. My mom told me at 11, and then I mentioned it to the poor sweet man I thought was my father, thinking he knew at 11 I didn't understand the severity of it. After years of not speaking, we happened to contact each other. Now we send "good morning, hope you are well" texts. Meanwhile my bio dad wants shit to do with me. Talk about an angel. 4 lies in one. 1. That universal healthcare is unachievable. 2. That Democrats believe in democracy. 3. That Republicans believe in family values. 4. That my vote only counts if I vote for either 2 or 3. Please vote with your conscience. Please don't vote for criminals, sex offenders or warmongers. Universal healthcare is available in every civilized country except the US. Along with a friend, we managed to successfully spread rumors about the mod staff and admins from a forum about their sexuality stuff, which was not considered commonplace like it is nowadays, and that ended with the end of said forum a short while later. The kicker to all of that was I learned almost 10 years later that the rumors we invented were actually true. I once was crushing on a girl, but she told me she was lesbian, and she kept on that for 3 years, until one day I found out she broke up with her boyfriend, and when I pressed her about it she finally confessed to me that she was lying because she wasn't interested. And then for some reason after I was pissed at her, she kept asking if I was still mad that vaccines cause autism. My mother is anti-vax and insisted the only reason I was diagnosed with Asperger's was because I got a shot as a kid. I believed her up until I was like 15 and they started teaching it in science. Lol. Taught me to do my own research and find factual evidence instead of just believing anything anyone says. I got an email message promising luxury nymphos. I've only ever been able to get your standard, run-of-the-mill nymphos, so of course I sent the money away. Are you ready for this? I got nothing. I have written a very strongly worded email to them to correct this grievous situation. Well, when I was like 4, my parents decided it would be funny to convince me they were aliens. Speechless face. There's another thread going around asking why are you the way you are, and I didn't answer cause honestly I thought it required a book. But the answer might be summed up by this: that FBI just barged into Mar-a-Lago. The FBI knock and announce with police present during any legitimate procedure, and present the warrant if it's applicable, which it would have been here. Someone identified as FBI, but who and why? The rest is a red herring, I think. There is no normal. I was complaining about being autistic and wanting to be a normal person like most others at my school, and my teacher told me this. I hate that phrase because whenever someone says it they know full well what I mean when I say I wish I was normal. Even though I'm moving away, I wanted you in my life for a very long time. We'll keep up and see each other in person again soon. That was 1 month ago. He blocked me on everything with no explanation 5 days ago. The day before he told me he loved me and missed me a lot. As a kid, I was always told that if you ignore bullies, they will leave you alone. In practice, you really need to assert dominance over them by punching them as hard as possible in the nose. I found that was a much more effective strategy for getting rid of bullies. History is important. Grades matter. Anything related to history. Ah, yes, is history important sometimes? The only useful parts aren't many, and the history you learn in school won't make you change the world, and grades don't matter. Just do what you like. I really want to give you a permanent contract, but I just can't. Of course, if you still need a job in April, I will take you back. And I think you should get a little more salary and some paid vacation. Literally none of this was true, that the politicians on the left cared about me. I already despised the right, but now I know none of them care about us. Been a hard pill to swallow. Now I just watch both cults stay dumb and distracted. Constant cringe how gullible humans are. God isn't real. I've had too many personal experiences such as miracles and answered prayers for me to not believe it. I'm sick of people denying them, I'm sick of people not understanding me, no one will listen. But it's their choice. I love you and I promise I will never leave you. Turns out he never loved me and ended up leaving me as soon as he was done with me. He was just bored and wanted to keep me on the hook until he found new friends and wasn't bored anymore. He's just my friend, you're the only man I could ever love. I can't see myself having a family with anyone but you. You're my best friend, I don't love him, I'm ready for this. You're what I want, I'm not going anywhere, bub. That my father hasn't, in fact, left me and my mom when I was 7 years. Instead I was told that he has a very demanding job in another town and that's why he can only see me once a month. I only found out the truth when I turned 40, that my ex-wife needed a separation because she just needed some time to figure some things out about herself. Nope. She was already cheating and just needed a way to get out of the marriage without having to be honest. I was talking to a friend who was a woman and told her I had feelings for another friend we both knew. She told me that the other woman didn't have feelings for me. I found out years later she did. Wish I had known. My dad told me one of his jeans that had ripped pockets got like that when a crocodile attacked him in the Amazonas. Also some police station had to close because they went bankrupt because lack of prisoners. When I was young I was told religion has no purpose. It's a personal choice, I get it. But the community and connection my faith has given me haven't been replaced by anything else. Not hobbies nor fandoms. When I was very young, my grandma told me to stop playing with myself. She told me if you don't stop playing with it then it's going to hang down to your knees. Boy, what a liar grandma turned out to be. One is a lie that we don't have the technology to infinitely power the whole world for free. It would put millions of people and hundreds of companies out of business, so it'll never happen. I can't live without you. This dude was totally addicted and obsessed with me. Gave me a lot of traumas. Eventually, in a pretty extreme way, I had to cut all contact I had with him. I take you to be my wife, to have and to hold from this day forward. For better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and in health, to love and to yada yada. There's a magic man in the sky who created everything and everyone. I stopped believing once I understood that many cultures have different gods and it just doesn't make sense. People who've done you wrong will face their karma. Also, everybody has the same 24 hours, usually quoted by people with a hardcore grind mentality of work hard, no sleep. I didn't tell you I still had a GF cause I just wanted to be around you and I love you. Months after tricking me into having sex with him and I found out from her that some peoples fell from the sky and killed all the dinosaurs. No. It was spiders. Spiders ate all the dinosaurs. Just like the spider that ate Frodo. I think the Iraq War after 9/11 has to be high on the list. Lots of people were lied to, lots of people died. Pretty unmatched in more recent history. Everything the Mormon Church tells everyone about their beliefs. The church spews lie after lie after lie. Then excommunicates you when you question. There's a magical being watching you 24/7. It judges you on everything and will accept telepathic wishing for things. Come on. Stop being silly. Growing up, USA was the land of the free. I dreamed about living there. After 2016, all that went to shit when America shows their true color. I made the effort to turn a 3-person department into a 1-person department and the factory owners said they couldn't afford a 24-cent raise. How many times is this post gonna go up? How many people actually care about a car's interior lights being on? Come up with something fresh. God is real and he loves you. There's no proof for the existence of a god or a gods, let alone proof that said beings love us at all. Baby, you know that I would never, ever do anything to jeopardize our relationship in any way. Turns out she most assuredly would. Some wonderful, powerful force will return one day and save us. From Jesus to the aliens now, Trump. Also known as the savior complex. Idols can't have relationships. All the Korean stuff. Like using the same clothes, accessories, etc. All media stuff like being gay. That she loved me. She said that during our wedding vows. Turns out it was a lie. For immigration. She will burn in hell. Crime doesn't pay. Crime does pay, and sometimes pays very well. But you have to keep some pretty damn unsavory company to something that you love and you never work a day in your life. Biggest bullshit, right next to the American dream. I didn't receive your message. What a damn lie, of course you did. I know you just don't want to spend time with me. After you get your master's degree, You are practically guaranteed to be offered a high-paying job out of thin air. Had an ex tell me she never wanted kids or marriage, only to tell me 5 years later she always did, just not with me. You don't need mental health care. Very depressed, suicidal 8-year-old child. You will be fine. I am so not fine. There's an invisible, silent, intangible, magical being in the sky who you must believe in or you'll burn forever. Money doesn't buy happiness. Love is eternal. Success is a result of hard work. Things always work out at the end. That if I fail a test I'll be kicked out of school. I was 6 when I was told that and believed it till I was 12. You only have to keep your head down and study hard until you finish 12th grade. It's smooth sailing after that. When grunge is mentioned it's always Nirvana. It should be Alice in Chains, Nirvana, then Pearl Jam top 3. Found this out yesterday. The longest river in the United States is the Missouri River, not the Mississippi. Asking my grandmother, "Are you feeling okay?" she says I'm fine, and immediately vomits onto her plate. What year I was born? Because my grandparents sent my mom away to have me and didn't want to be ashamed. You won't get laid if you tuck your shirt. You look like a doofus when you don't tuck your shirt. That the government is run by good trustworthy people. The ignorance of childhood truly was bliss. You'll make this much, but we are going to start you out lower and then raise it in the future. If I turn on the light in the back, the driver can't see out the front window and will crash. My father's death was an accident. He committed suicide. I didn't find out until I was 16. Girl I was dating claims she was royal. I didn't believe it, but she was persistent about it. I'm trying to finish my degree. I was too ashamed to tell people that I stopped my studies. That world bankers Illuminati don't run the world. That it is just a conspiracy theory.